Take two.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This week on Humpcast, we talk about how podcasts work. Meek Mill is out and about. We get our first look at Venom. Rest in peace, Vern Troyer. And James Cameron is sick and tired of his motherfucking Avengers on this motherfucking screen.
Oh, shit.
You're listening to Humpcast. Welcome to Humpcast, everybody, the show where a couple of buds get buzzed and... yes, thank you. Ow, okay, not in your mic. Ow. A couple of buds get buzzed, and Garrett Lee and Ryan D pour out one for the late mini-me. My name's Garrett Lee.
I'm Ryan D.
And we're gonna pour out one for the late mini-me, but in our mouths.
Okay.
We're in my living room. I don't want to pour it. Where am I gonna pour it?
Yeah, into our mouths.
Into our mouths. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So we start off every episode with an alcoholic beverage of some sort. Today is no different. What are we drinking, Ryan? What are you drinking?
I had a Red Balls,
You got a Red Balls?
and then now I'm drinking a Golden Road Wolf Pup.
Nice.
And next I'll be drinking a Point the Way IPA. There were 2 for $5 at the liquor store. So
Sick. Did you see the Ryan D shelf?
no, I went to the other one over here off of Atlantic because that's the way it came from.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, because I have a local liquor store that literally just has a whole shelf of really cheap booze.
I saw it last time though.
Yeah,
The Ryan D. Shelf.
the Ryan D shelf. It's just the really cheap stuff for it's like what is it, 3 tall cans for like $1 or $2.
Yeah, exactly. What are you drinking?
I am drinking 2 different things. So I started off right here, and we are live, so you can check this out. I started off with a 40 of Miller High Life
For the homie mini me.
for the homie Miller. I'm gonna pour it out into my glass. That's for him.
That's for the homie.
And then once I finish this, I'm moving on to a cocktail that I pre-made. This right here, it's going to be Centenario Repasado Tequila, mango juice, tonic, and a little bit of lime in there. I'm not gonna call it a mango margarita. It's just like a little sipper highball.
Actually sounds pretty good. That's probably the first time you made a cocktail that I actually want to try.
It's refreshing. Okay, so it's still going to taste like tequila, but it's
geez.
light enough.
All right.
I think you'd be okay with it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Be good blended.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the because it's getting pretty hot here. We're in Southern California. It's by no means as hot as it's gonna get, but it is for sure warming up. And so I've been gravitating more like refreshing stuff. So I'm not doing as many old fashions or Manhattans or dark beers. You know what I mean? I'm doing aviations, tequila, lime. Something fucking bright, whatever. Even sipping on High Lifes because it's kind of fucking hot.
The place is starting to look better.
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, you guys don't know this, but last week we recorded, and the entire other half of the room was covered in boxes because I just moved in here. Now I've taken care of, I want to say, 80 to 90% of those boxes.
Right. So last week I was giving Garrett shit because he's got this nicely stacked shelf of booze here, nice and neatly stocked bar, but he had a box of stacks and stacks of bullshit over here in the living room. So I'm like, I think your priorities are out of whack here.
Well, I needed a place to put my booze. I can't just have them in boxes, bro.
What? Okay, I got you. I like your decor. You have swords on the wall.
Yeah, thanks.
But
I think I'll do
not even like a cool like medieval style or
they're ninja swords. No, okay, so
those are real swords on the wall.
yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm slowly decorating, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little tour because once I get this place decorated and like everything's set up or whatnot, like I think I'll just do like a cool little tour. But yeah, so I have my keyblades over there, and like I'm gonna put better swords on the wall probably. I have some artwork, which is really nice. Like I have a Superman painting, and I have a Jack Skellington one that like you probably haven't seen since back in the day, if you even remember it. It was a really nice canvas Jack Skellington.
Oh, I do. He's like playing a guitar.
Yeah, something like that. And then so like that's been in storage forever because I really had no space to put it anywhere.
Cool picture. Yeah, you got to get some shit on the walls here.
Yeah, it's.
I really hope it's so funny. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, you can always tell if somebody doesn't live with a girl because of the shit that's on their walls.
That's very true because
Or
literally
lack thereof.
Literally, I've had female friends over, and they're like, "Why do you have so much just random shit?" And I'm like, "Whoa, it's not shit. It's really cool." Including, I can't believe I didn't mention this because we've just gone through so many. I don't know. We've just been gone through like the podcast, and I just forgot about it. But for my birthday, my mom actually got me one of the coolest things.
What's up?
It's the Legacy Dragon Dagger. So, do you remember like back in the day, I had like the plastic kind of.
So it was the actual gold
This is the
one?
actual.
the
It's not gold. Actually, you know what? Fuck this. Okay, so you can see the banner live right here. I'm gonna move that because I'm gonna go grab it while Ryan D riffs.
All right. Well, no, I was just saying because my fiance is like decorated our apartment, our tiny ass little place, and it looks pretty legit, and it looks like a few grown ups live there. Yeah. But when I lived at my place by myself, you saw I just had a bunch of random shit on the walls that I thought was cool. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I just put it on the wall, and so she's managed to actually make it look like a few adults actually live there and not some fucking teenager.
Yeah, but I think our shit looks cooler though. Our shit's way cooler.
Well, I got the kitchen at least, so I got like 3 posters in the kitchen, so and photos
Nice.
like of.
You should do a fucking tour of your place for your podcast.
For all 2 rooms.
There's 3.
I do have some cool shit.
You have a really nice bathroom. Like you have a way nicer bathroom than I do.
Yeah.
It's probably as big as my room. No,
That's true. My
fucking big.
bathrooms is and I love my toilet because it's like a tall toilet.
Yeah.
It's not one of those.
Oh, did you get the?
No,
you didn't get the squatty potty.
I did. I grabbed it.
Oh, okay.
You left it on. You left
I put
it
it
on
on
my
top of
windshield.
it.
Yeah, I just been forgetting to take it out of my car.
Because I left it on his car because he parked it and left it here. And I'm like, he keeps forgetting this fucking squatty potty because it came in a 2-pack, and I have no need for 2 squatty potties.
Yeah.
So I just was like, fucking, I put it on top of his windshield. I'm like, hopefully no one takes it, but if they do, fuck it.
Yeah, no,
at least
I got
someone's
it.
gonna
I got
use
it. It's in my car, but I ended up not even like using my car all week, so I forgot it in the car. So, but anyway, I'm gonna take it home tonight.
So this is what she got me. This is my mom got it for me. It's really fucking cool. The Legacy Dragon Dagger.
That's so fucking cool.
And then watch. Let me take it out of the packaging. It's super fuck. It's actually really heavy. It plays the songs where the other one was really cool, but it actually I don't know. They didn't have the license for the music or whatever.
And what did I get you? I got you something last year too, and I was like, it made me laugh so hard because I was like, you could tell we're fucking like just giant kids because we're always just buying toys for each other.
You got me, I remember like you got me the Green Ranger wallet. You got me the Joker bobblehead from over there.
Oh, that's right.
Who's also now part of my decor.
Right.
He's in the living room.
right.
All right, here we go. So, this thing is super legit. It's like
That thing
it's
is
show,
badass, dude.
It's show quality. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna turn it on real quick. And then if you blow into it and you play different
Do even the
songs-
things go down?
yeah, so different ones. So they make little swish sounds. But if you blow into it and then you press
You
them-
actually have to blow into it?
no, you have to press it. But
Oh.
and then you're
Well, that's the newer one, isn't it?
yeah, and then also
Dope. Well, I remember you being so disappointed with the one that you had because it didn't.
Yes.
It played the new Green Ranger song. And
no,
not,
it didn't even have the license for the like if you
For
wanna
the original
check
one,
that
yeah.
out. Yeah, like it literally had knockoff versions of those songs I just played, and these are the legacy ones, but these are actually licensed. So
this is badass, dude.
like I want to sharpen it, just make it into a real dagger. I think I have that one right here. In fact,
It's even got like it's funny because it reminds me of those OG toys. You remember, like they had the rubbery, it's like silver rubbery tips. So if you hit each other with them, it didn't really hurt. But I mean, you really weren't supposed to. But remember, I had because remember Billy had the 2 axes.
Billy, they're like little forks or tridents or whatever. No, wait, yeah, was it Billy?
No, they were little axes, and then they would go together into like almost like a staff.
Oh, like a lance.
Yeah.
Like a battle lance or something.
Yeah.
But I remember
So I had
Zach had the big axe.
So I had those. Yeah.
I
Oh,
had
maybe
those.
Zach had the axe. Maybe I don't know.
I don't even know if this still works. Oh, it does. So this one is really cool. Like my cousin gave me this one, but it was like kind of knockoff as far as the sounds. Like it's doing something right now that I don't even know. Stop it. And then I don't even know. This one you actually do blow into.
Yeah, what the
I'm like
fuck
that's
is
not
that?
even.
That's like close.
It's what you play when you're like I don't want to get copyright
So what do you
infringement.
press to get all these together?
So
to get the right one.
you have to press the lip mode thing, and then you do I think the first one. Do the first one, and then the last one. Very different than. And
That's pretty weak. Right, that's the
Exactly.
knockoff. That's the knockoff
and
version.
that's
of that
the
one.
legit version.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing you grew up with. But I mean, that's the thing. Like this is just like one, like not cheap, I guess. I don't know. But this is like the one they're like, okay, well we'll have a Dragon Dagger toy, and then it started getting really cool again because all the people that grew up with it finally got money.
Yeah.
So then they're like, let's remake these toys, but badass.
Well, not only that, I mean that dude Jason David Frank has really kept this character alive.
Oh fuck yeah! Like he has a big following still.
Yeah.
On Facebook, Instagram, and everything, and he's really all about that, which is cool, good for him. But
Well,
yeah,
that motherfucker's got a giant ass house and a Maserati.
Oh yeah, well he's definitely made bank off of this. So let's see. I'm gonna compare the two on camera real quick. You can see the difference, and this one's super shiny, super cool. But yeah,
So one of them's going on a shelf, and the other one we're gonna fuck each other up with, right?
exactly. And the plastic one, the one that like it actually comes out with like a weird lightning bolt thing, and so you actually can use that kind of like a double edge. Let me see. You have to unlock this like
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
this thing,
I remember
and
that.
then press that button. Boom. And it
Was
has
that a thing that like happened
Boom.
in any of the new ones or
No.
something? No.
Exactly. No, that's why I'm like, I have no idea. This is just one of those things. It's like in a alternate universe, this is what this weapon would do.
That's weird.
Yeah. So whatever. That's cool. But now I have this. I have both of these dragon daggers. I have the Morpher Legacy Morpher. I have a Green Ranger bobblehead and the Green Ranger wallet that you got me, and so that's my shit.
Dope.
Bro.
I strongly suggest that you take that segment and then cut it into an Instagram video so people can see what the show's about.
I think I will. I have to have you show me that because I've never done that with Instagram.
Well, all you got to do is just cut it on your thing on your computer and then Google Drive it, download it onto your phone, and then that's it.
Nice.
All right, whatever.
Cool. It said your cousin said that Joe had all the toys. Spoiled ass. Is that
I
your,
bet.
You're going to yeah.
No, that's is it Luis?
Luis, yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking about Joe.
Yeah, I had a neighbor that had all of them, and I only got to get the ones that were my favorite. Yeah, that's right. You are right. Billy did have like the trident type things, so I had those, the Blue Ranger, and I had both of them. So
Yeah.
and if you put them together, then they were like a two-edged little staff thing.
Exactly. And I never had any of the weapons that I know of as a kid, at least. Probably because my parents were smart and they realized that we'd make everything into a weapon regardless. So they would they would give us those foam swords.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they weren't just made of foam. There was like hard plastic covered in foam, and we would take the foam off.
Right.
And then just fucking whack each other with it and get big ass
I used to
welts.
it's funny because like my favorite is like I always get like my parents would go all out for my birthday and Christmas. So like,
Yeah.
but then those toys would end up being my favorite toys, and like they'd end up fucking breaking. And so I would always try and like have the thing for the staff. I always liked it that way, and it fucking broke. So like the connector thing. So my dad duct taped it and like stinted it made a splint and duct taped it so that I could keep it together.
Nice.
And just like that fucking turtle van that I have now, I have the new one. Right?
I like that this is where we're at as far as like being an adult. Like we were just like, okay, well, our families couldn't afford these or didn't give it to us as kids.
Right.
But now that we're adults and we still like it, like, well, here's the toys that you always wanted.
Well, Vicky got me my turtle van because I explained to her that I had this specific version, and I was like, and it was my favorite fucking toy. I was like, for like fucking 5 years, I had this toy.
Yeah.
And I was like, it would break, and my dad would fix it, or the guys would fall out, or the door wouldn't stay shut, so my dad would have to wrap a rubber band around it. It was like, I'm like, dude, by the time it was like, I had 3 wheels, and it was held together with fucking masking tape and paper clips, So, like, I don't know what ended up happening to it, but I was like so excited telling her about that toy, so she ended up buying it for me for my birthday, which was like very sweet. It's a fucking awesome birthday present. So I have it on my shelf now.
Nice. I think that's what actually that's not a bad idea. I should probably put shelves on the walls, and that way I can put more of my knickknacks and art on the fucking walls out here. And I think that would be a lot better because right now they're just plain walls. Like you have the couches and whatever.
Put some shelves up.
Put some shelves.
I mean, you got a ton of shit.
Yeah,
and you have plenty of room out here.
I just never have done anything like that. I got to find like the studs and then put
you
it
of all
there.
people have so much stuff, and there's so much clutter, and so like you should really fucking get some shelves.
I'm working on it. But either way, it is coming together. This is a big step. I can fit multiple people in this living room now if I just moved the stuff that I just have out for the podcast, which is just on that one love seat. But we have everything going here, and we can kind of segue into sort of the first topic I want to bring up. So my friend Ahmed, who was actually one of my oldest friends, he might be my oldest friend I've known since.
It's too bad. I thought he was going to stick around and kind of see how this all panned out.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stick around a little bit longer, but I guess he had some family stuff that came up. But he came up to me and really wanted to know how the podcast worked. Like he is now going to get into YouTubing and recording stuff with his cousin and try and do some of that as like a hobby.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, I have Garrett who he listens to our podcast. He listened to your podcast too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was telling me
That's
that
nice.
he's caught like a few episodes of your podcast, and he really want to know how to do it. So it gave me the idea that I'm sure a lot of our listeners and our viewers right now would be kind of interested in how podcasts work. Kind of not just a rundown of how we started and then how they work in general. So I think that would be a good topic for us. We've done it for 4 years now?
Yeah, about that. Well, shit. I mean, when we started ours, it was just supposed to be just this little fun thing to do, and it sort of evolved into this bigger production than we really wanted it to be. But it's taken form, and now you know what? It's made me so much better at speaking and not repeating myself and not fucking saying the same thing or like little ticks. You know what I mean? Like
because you're like, oh shit, why do I keep saying
yeah.
or and then
yeah.
But,
so I'm really happy for that because now I'm especially doing stand up and then running my own podcast. Like I'm able to now I'll write down a few topics if I want to, or like just to fall back on if a show starts going awry. But it's like. But I'm able to just have conversations with people now. Like, I could sit down. I mean, even now, but I think it might be a little annoying to people because, like, I'll sit down and I'll just start interviewing people, like, even when we're just hanging out at a bar or something. Like,
really? You think they get annoyed by that?
Not really, but I don't know. I've definitely become a better person as to have conversations with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I listen more, and I'm able to ask the right questions to get the right answers.
Yeah, because you're actually looking for a conversation. You're looking for information as opposed to just like, oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Except for when I don't like people, then it's usually like that.
No, that's. It's so funny you brought that up. I was listening to two people that at my work that I know don't like each other have a mild conversation, and I'm like, this is weird. It's like I'm watching a nature documentary.
But it's also, it's funny is it, let me correct me if I'm wrong, but with me, it's also made me so fucking jaded and annoyed when I can't have anybody in front of me tell a fucking story. When I'm talking to somebody and they're or they're telling me a story about something that happened to them the other day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, get to the goddamn fucking point. like I don't need to know what pair of shorts you were wearing that day and why you were talking to your grandmother before you fucking went.
Also, I had some iced tea that day and it was really nice. It was refreshing.
Oh my God, dude. And I'm just like, When is the punchline? When are we getting to?
Well, then that may be more you than anything. I don't notice if that does happen.
Dude, it
to
drives me fucking crazy, and it's like
where people just don't
they have no.
You're
point.
not paying attention to the structure of how this should work.
There's no point of what they're just talking to hear themselves talk. You know, and it's like, is there any point to this at any point?
For a lot of people, no, they're just going. But yeah, no, like that's one thing. So our podcast, for those of you who may not know, it basically came by a couple of buds
getting buzzed,
and they're like, I think this wasn't even our idea at first. Someone's like, you guys should start something like
It was my.
was it?
I think somebody.
I feel like someone said you guys.
Someone said we should record you guys talk about this
Yeah.
shit because we were sitting there. It was one of
after,
those like,
after a party.
It was and then we were at home drunk talking about fucking Spider-Man and arguing like over a table. You know
Exactly, and that's basically like what our first and like every episode through everything else. It was literally. The concept was let's gonna get buzzed and just have these conversations that we normally do but record it, and then but since that we've kind of tried to do more structure because I mean a lot of our episodes ran for nearly 3 hours, and I know we have a difference in opinion, which is fine, but
No,
you like
yeah,
longer ones, I can like a little bit more compact ones.
I don't. It's not that I like longer ones. I just think if it's flowing, then just let it flow. You know, if not, if I just don't like the idea of having a time limit. But that's just me. That's why I like Joe Rogan's show so much because sometimes like he'll have an amazing guest on and it'll go like 3 hours and I'll listen to the whole episode because it's just so interesting and they jump from different topics and whatnot and I'm just so invested in what's going on and whoever the guest is that I just want to know.
And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, and I completely understand that. For me, I think it's just because I'm a different type of person. I can't pay attention for that long in one sitting unless I truly have just that time. Like if you're driving, or
but also,
if you're,
I mostly listen to them when I'm driving.
Exactly.
So.
I don't do those. I don't do long things like where I drive or I make projects or stuff like that. I'd rather. And then when I do, I'm not great at multitasking. I can only pay attention for one. I like to focus on one thing at a time. So if I'm working or doing any project, I like music or some sort of ambient noise because I'm not paying attention. If I have some sort of podcast or YouTube video on and I'm doing something else, I will have not paid attention to any of it.
That's why it was perfect for the job that I had because all I did was show up, read a little bit, and deliver boxes. And it was like, but so I'd have, and I didn't have to really talk to anybody. So I would drive a truck and deliver boxes. And so I'd have interviews in my head all day, so.
But then
that worked out.
Yeah, it does. And going back to it, I think podcasting has really given us a lot of practice and given us skill as far as being able to just sort of riff with people. Like I know it helps me so much on auditions and even at work, like when I do like serving or bartending or whatever, like just talking to people. Like even if I truly don't care,
that's what I was saying.
I can just but like keep a conversation going, and then just be like, fuck.
Oh
that.
yeah, we've had plenty of people I don't give a shit about on this show. every week I got Garrett here.
Yay! Hey,
no, but yeah, absolutely. Then just to keep it afloat, and not look like a dick, you gotta. You gotta try and put on a happy face.
Like in all honesty, like I truly love that we did this and we are continuing to do this. I mean, this is not like now you
almost died a couple times, but
I mean for me, like I don't want to let it do that in the sense that I truly like doing it regardless. And we've given you, like, for those of you who have been here from the beginning. We've given you an episode every single week since we began.
We've never missed one.
Never missed a single week.
I mean, I've missed a couple.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Even if some of us aren't here, like right now, Ricky's not here because he's dead. Rest in peace, Ricky C.
Rest in peace, Ricky C.
And then whatever. But there's always been at least one of us, and we try and get more guests. And stuff like that. I keep giving you some sort of content for you.
I think going into what you were saying is, I think consistency is key. Is what
agreed.
What it comes down to for this one. I mean, obviously, I have my podcast, and I kind of fucking fell off on that. I was doing it every week, and I was trying to. I didn't have a set schedule. I was just always releasing them every Friday.
Yeah,
and then I got fired, and then I was in San Diego, and then I just got caught up with a bunch of other shit, and we never did the podcast we were supposed to do in San Diego. I brought all my podcasts.
Yeah, I was like, let's do it. We just never did it, and then I had to go first.
It just never happened. But for that one's just my whole different style, and I think what is Lemmy snoring?
Yeah, wait, it's cute. So also special guest Lemmy is here on my floor.
Lem dog.
He's very cute. He's very cute. I'll move the camera at some point and show you guys, but not right now.
I guess what I'm trying to say is when you start, you don't really need to know exactly. I mean, for me, I knew exactly how I wanted my show to go because I had been doing this one for so long. So like I was like, I'm gonna do something different. Yeah. So when we started this, we had no idea what the fuck we were doing.
Not at all. I actually, because I was showing my friend Ahmed kind of where we started, I got to hear us beginning, and there was a lot of dead air like, so Today we're going to do some stuff.
I'm deathly terrified to listen to the early
Check that.
episodes.
It's not horrible, to be honest. There's just a lot of dead air.
We had a lot of good content, I think, back then.
I do too, but we also did a lot more research and put a lot. I think we were
Put a lot more into
more
it.
gung ho.
Yeah.
because every one of us would bring in like 3 stories. Everyone would be like, "Yeah, let's
but
do
also
this.
we were
Let's
more
talk about
afraid.
this."
But also we weren't as good as carrying on topics.
Regular conversation.
Yeah, regular conversations. So like,
You were just reading news.
So we needed the news to have jump off points.
Yeah, and then now we still have them, which is great. Like I think they're still they're useful. I know a lot of you are looking forward to certain things. Like people tell me like, "Oh, what did you think about?" Like right now today we're going to talk about the Venom trailer.
Yeah.
A lot of people are super interested about that.
Coming
that
up.
just dropped. Coming up. There's your hook right there.
Yeah.
No, and then like go to work and like people listen to me at work. They're like, "Dude, what do you think of this? Oh, I heard what you said about this and blah blah blah. Like I don't agree or disagree or I do agree blah blah blah." And like
Sure.
it's cool. It's a topic for conversation and because we're adults, we can have those without being angry.
without getting
Exactly.
except me.
Except for you. I mean, but whatever.
It's funny. Like we were talking about back to what we were talking about
Yeah.
being good at doing podcasts and all that, or getting better at it. Obviously we're not fucking professionals here, but
No.
so I did my friend's podcast about it's called Tales from the Outside. Shout out Rob Zora, Tales from the Outside.
Rob Zorad.
Check out that podcast, guys. If you like, it's very funny. It's about the premise of it is comics, actors, whatever, they come on and they tell stories about camping. And so either camping, hiking, whatever. So he had like a marathon runner on, and then he had another comic on besides me that told all these stories about like going to Burning Man and being high on hallucinogenics and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I told my story about getting beat up by 2 Native Americans, and then being a part of a biker wedding and brawl and all this shit. So I told that whole story, and it's about an hour and a half episode. You should check it out. It's really funny.
Nice.
And I tell that full story. So.
Yeah.
And it was funny because like even I'm telling the story and we're going on little tangents and like riffing and stuff, and he was just like, "Dude, that was like the easiest podcast I've had to do. Like I didn't have to ask any like you just went." I was like, "Well, yeah, like I've been doing the other one for 4 years. Like I kind of just know,
how that works.
Yeah.
Like you talk, and that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
people want to hear you talk. They want to hear, they want to be entertained. We're not doing this. We're not the news. We're not these websites that just have spend hours and hours a day trying to find the latest stuff. We'll tell you what we think about the news,
right?
But I doubt anyone's coming to Humpcast and be like, "Oh, I really got to find out what happened, in entertainment or weird shit or tech today." However, they do like hearing us talk about that stuff.
Right.
So like when Ricky brings in the stuff with Facebook or different life hacks, I'm sure many of you for the first time may have heard like, different hacking stories or the fact that all of your data is probably out there. Someone has it.
Yeah,
Someone has it.
Okay, so then to to put a message out there for people who are trying to start a podcast. Here's what I'm going to say: is there's no fucking wrong way to do it.
True. Like you see, you may see if you see,
and there's
if you
no
watch
right,
the,
and there's no right way either. So it's
exactly.
Just,
I mean, it's not like a one right way.
no, there's no. I mean, there's so much wiggle room, and there's so many different styles and different types of podcasts now. I mean, especially now. I've been getting into so many different things. I started listening to horror stories, like narrated by somebody.
Yeah.
And there's those types of podcasts. There's like radio plays, and then there's
I think let me put this out there then. So there's no real wrong way to do it. Really, the easiest way, like you can do it as easy as you pick up your phone, which everyone fucking probably has a phone. If you're listening to us, you're most likely have a phone. And you press record and you just talk in a quiet room. It doesn't have to be soundproof. You don't have to have a mic. You don't have to have headphones. You just talk.
Just get your
That's the
ideas out.
easiest possible way you could do. And then
To
you
start,
just post to start like that. Like I think so many people are, and I've been guilty of this before too. Are very much about like, oh, when I'm ready, like I have to save up and buy all this equipment.
No,
which,
you don't.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like we did this because we were a group of friends who had a base idea of what we wanted. We wanted some quality. We wanted all this stuff. We also, at the beginning, we had our friend who was an audio engineer.
Yeah, so
we wanted to go
started with a lot of equipment
for all that.
And so for us to downgrade, we were like, okay, well, what do we need to buy to get what we had? Because we already had such good audio equipment and stuff. So
And this is still all luxury. Like we have legit
Yeah.
mics. These aren't the best mics,
but
these aren't the best mixer, but it's a mixer and it's mics.
But
It's
realistically, it's none of this shit was that expensive. I mean,
No.
we accumulated it a lot over the years.
good. I'm sure it's cheaper now.
and
even.
we did. I mean, this board was like $150, right?
Yeah, like less than 3 for sure.
It was like $200 maybe. The
Yeah.
mics are like $30 each.
As long as you don't have a Ricky C and you go to you yeah, as long as you don't have a Ricky C and you can be like, hey,
2-for-1 mic
there's a 2-for-1 mic stands. No, we're just gonna take one
He
mic
just
stand.
decided to get one.
Just take the 2 mic stands because it's free.
Yeah. And you can never have too much too, because the shit goes out. We have plenty of extra cables.
Oh, definitely.
and-
That's what I was saying. Like the only stuff really in the living room right now is the boxes that I have of extra equipment, extra wires, extra headphones, extra whatever I need.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of have like half of it now. But
Yeah, Ryan Diaz inherited some of the stuff, but I have at least what I need for 3 to 4 people to come in here.
yeah.
and
If
have a good
if something were
podcast.
to happen, you could just ask me and I would bring something. But
I don't even know what you have, but as long as we have this, we're good.
I have extra mic cables, or I have 3 mic cables, 3 mics, and everything else that you have. I have
okay.
I have extra everything you have.
I didn't know we even had that much stuff. To be honest.
Well, I bought a lot of my own stuff,
Oh, gotcha.
but I think I stole all the mic cables.
Cool, awesome.
Well, because we had
Sweet.
extras. We had 3 extras. So
Yeah,
I took,
exactly.
So I took them.
Like I'm saying, you don't need all this shit. We just have it because we wanted to have a certain level of insurance / quality. So, but like you could at the base have your phone, talk into your phone. That's it.
Yeah.
Then you could step
Sure,
it up
I mean,
a
and
bit, get some headphones and like plug it in. That'll probably help.
If you want to get really fancy, you
you
can get like there's like these cheap iPhone microphones that you can just
Oh,
plug
really?
into your
Yeah,
phone,
do that. But like, there's so many ways you can do a podcast, or not even just a podcast, voice recording. People are talking, like my friend Ahmed, he wants to do stuff with music and vocal recording, and then
Absolutely.
maybe you want to do voiceover. And granted, when it goes specifically to voiceover, you want better quality, but you don't need it to put something like, let's say, a reel together. If you want to just put your voice out there, like, hey, I can do a very good, this is my voice, and people have been telling me it's really bassy or it's really good to listen to, then boom, just fucking talk into a recording device. That's all you need.
You don't need this big ass mixing board, especially. I mean, really,
I don't know what most of these buttons and knobs do.
I've gotten a little
I
bit.
don't.
I've gotten a little bit better because I have a smaller version of this that I've been fucking around with. But for the most part, I mean, they even have USB mics that you can just buy.
True.
If you have
Now I will say these are probably better quality, but most of the
Absolutely.
USB ones
Yeah, totally.
are very easy to come by.
you can get a USB mic and guess what? You got a Mac. You have GarageBand. So
Audacity is what we record on. It's
and that's
free.
free. It's
The soundboard thing, I think Ricky C bought that, right?
and I bought it too.
You bought it too.
It's $50. The
Did you?
soundboard thing, if you want some like quirky sounds or like it's
But
really
even that, before that, there's websites where you can just click,
have like sound
have
drops.
sound drops.
The thing with the soundboard, it makes it easier to let's say you're doing like what we're doing for like live streaming, and if you want your theme music to play, if you want to queue up video or sound drops, like it's really easy to just set that up and you hit a key and it plays.
Exactly. And then now it's easier than ever to do video because not only does Facebook have a live thing you can record, YouTube is very easy and free. Instagram, everyone has a fucking phone. You do Instagram, you can do that. You do Instagram live,
Yeah.
do that shit. You know what I mean? Like you could have so many different levels from like I know different YouTube shows that have full on studios and movie equipment and all that stuff and great. Or you can sit there with your fucking phone in your living room at a park bench or whatever you want to do, and just be like, here's my ideas on this.
Yeah, there's plenty of podcasts that I listen to from like comics and stuff that'll do it on the road and record it just on their iPhone or something.
Yeah, I think the biggest advice I can give to anyone is literally just go out and do something. The more you wait, the less likely you're gonna do it.
Absolutely, Garrett. That's what I've been telling you for years.
Ryan D is my life coach. I just haven't put that out there. You know what I mean? But no, literally, like it's something that you could probably be repeated to you over and over again until you make the decision to at least start. It's not gonna happen. Like just
It's
start.
true. I mean, there's people that I know that they're always, I want to do like an open mic, but I'm just never like well, how do you like? I'm like, I go just do it, man. Like
I get it because I've been there. It's like it's scary. You're unsure about what would happen, but think about the worst case scenario and then see if you could live with that. To
Worst
be
case
honest,
scenario,
like
you
if-
suck.
Like I haven't done a day of stand up comedy. If I go to an open mic and I go up there and nobody makes a sound, I'm fine the next day. No one knows. Maybe Ryan knows.
Oh fuck! I'll be there. I'll know.
Yeah, Ryan will know. That's if I tell him that I'm going. But I'm
No,
saying
but then you get the taste of it, and then you know what to expect, and then you just work harder. That's just
best case scenario, you fucking kill it.
like I did my first time. You
Yeah,
know,
totally.
fucking. Just saying.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Actually, I did really well my first open mic. My second one, I ate a fat wiener.
Yes, just that 1 second one.
No, I've eaten fat dicks multiple times.
Ryan
since
loves
then.
fat dicks. It's his favorite meal.
I was not good at stand-up.
On the food pyramid at the very bottom, which is the longest and biggest one, is just wieners, and that's
It's just one dick
it's one giant fat dick, and Ryan eats that on the daily.
regularly.
Okay. But that was like really what I wanted to talk about as like our main topic, because I know a lot of you have actually been asking me about podcasting or
Also,
recording or anything like that. Go for it.
There are plenty of YouTube videos that are instructional videos that get you
Oh, of
started on
course.
those. So like there's people who run podcasts and that
Yeah.
do these instructional videos. We could do one, maybe.
Yeah, I'm down. Our biggest thing is that all of us hate to edit, and then by all of us I mean literally everyone I know.
Yes.
I haven't met a single person that's like, I love editing.
Editing is not fun. It's very
Someone out there likes it,
fucking time consuming.
not us.
I don't mind it if it's something that I really want to put out,
Yeah, like that's the thing. You have to really want, and that's another thing. You just kind of do it. You have to do
The
it.
problem was, remember we tried editing some videos up before,
And
like,
they
Humpcast
they
videos.
took like months.
Well, it was
if they
because-
ever came
It
out.
was we had way too many clips and I still had a full-time job and shit. And I didn't be
Also, we were unfamiliar with the how things work. Like we got DSLRs.
This is the perfect.
We got
thing.
DSLRs.
Yeah. This is the perfect thing because you can live stream this and then
Yeah.
just download the video.
True.
And this is like then you have it. Then you can put it on YouTube and that's
Boom.
it. You're done.
Exactly. Like it's a lot easier now. There's stuff you can do. But the thing is, just like we did, it's trial and error. Everything is. The thing is, we didn't go broke off of this. We didn't. we didn't die. We didn't get harmed. Nothing bad happened. We just.
Well, Ricky died, but
Ricky died, but he lived a hard lifestyle. It was very different. He smoked marijuana, which of course everyone knows is a gateway drug to death. I think he did 3 marijuanas and he died.
he had all the marijuana.
Oh, he had all the marijuanas and he died. But no, I'm just saying, like, people are so scared of stuff, and I get it because we were too. We were like, oh, I don't know about this. Like I remember before Ryan even decided to be a comedian, he would talk about it for fucking ever. He's like, I'm thinking maybe I'll go hit like an open mic or something at some point. Fucking 3 months later. I'm thinking I might still go get him open, like, and that's
Hey, but I
before we
finally
did
did
it. Exactly, and that's the thing. Just go do it. You're not gonna this is not street racing. There's not an actual life or death situation.
Right.
Like, just go do it.
And
go
you know what? And then the easy thing about like being if you do your first podcast audio only, then
and that's easier. Like right now we're doing video and audio.
well,
so
anybody can chime in right now and be like, "You guys are fucking faggots."
I remember the first comment we ever got on our audio podcast was like, "This sucks dinosaur dick" or something like that.
Something about like
Dinosaur balls.
Yeah, I said we suck dinosaur balls. He misspelled dinosaur, and then said that he said that we're all wannabe Mexicans or something like that.
Oh yeah, because we were doing like our Mexican impressions. I mean, we're all fucking part Mexican at least.
Yeah, he's like,
Ricky's full Mexican.
These fools ain't even Mexican. This sucks dinosaur balls. That
Yeah,
shit was
exactly.
hilarious.
And it is, I don't know. It's just fucking people, bro. Whatever.
That's great. I'd rather have that than nothing.
You're
You're good. You're drinking tequila.
I got tequila away. I got tacos. I can do whatever the fuck I want. You suck. You, sir, suck the dinosaur dick.
But
I'm gonna keep this on here.
another thing is we do long form, hour and a half, to 2 hours sometimes, and that shouldn't limit you either. I mean, there's like 20-minute podcast. There's a 10-minute podcast with Will Sasso. It's only
nice.
10 minutes.
Oh, good for him.
And it's the best because all they do is like do little they do like they just riff back and forth and he'll do impressions and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a 10-minute podcast. I mean, you could do a 30-minute podcast. I mean, really, there's just no fucking limit to
what you
There's-
can do if you want to.
the
And
internet-
that's the thing. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, you could even do, like, literally, okay, so right now people are doing Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, and I personally don't like it, but some people just fucking do their whole day.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done a few of them.
And I don't watch
It's
them.
funny.
Like,
Sometimes
I will
fun.
go. I will go to 10 probably, and if it doesn't hook me, I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to watch anymore. But literally, you could do that. You're like waking up. This is what I'm having for breakfast. See you in like an hour. Boop. Next one. Like there's nothing. If you want to do something or you're curious about it, not even like you don't have to be sure this is gonna be the rest of your life or sure about anything. Just if you are curious about something, you want to try it, go do it. As long as you're not hurting anyone and it's not, you know what I mean? Like, just go and give it a try.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. On that note, I know Randy has to get out in a little bit.
Yeah,
so
sorry, these dudes are texting me. I'm trying to like keep it.
it's cool. We're gonna go with your stories first, and then do it and then
No, let's do Venom first.
All right, we'll do Venom first then.
I may have some news for you. Go ahead.
Entertainment news, everybody. This just broke out. I'm not gonna get to this story. I have a question for you. News story that'll make you guys a little bit tingly in the fans. Okay, we need to move on from that. I need to get away from that real quick.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears.
All right.
Look at you with the applause.
I'm getting better at this a little bit.
There you go. Look at you.
After this, I'm gonna actually chop up some stuff and make some new buttons. What?
There you go. There you
my,
go.
My priority was cleaning my house. Sorry.
Yeah, happens.
I wonder if they can hear Levy snoring now.
If we can hear them, they can hear them.
All right, cool. It's cute. It's cute. So, dude, okay, so this is one thing that I was watching Beer Fest last night, and immediately I was like, I need beer. Did you ever feel something like that? Like, I think it's the whole thing, like just with commercials and like I have these triggers where I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I want that now. So I watched Beer
No,
Fest.
usually when I see ice cold beer, then I'm like,
I popped open 4 beers and I put them in one glass and I didn't chug it, but I was like, I need a big. I can't have one beer.
you play quarters by yourself.
No, I didn't. I was with somebody, but I'm just saying, like, I was just drinking, and I was like, I can't just drink one beer at a time. I want to fucking.
Well, you never just have one beer. Anybody who ever has one beer and goes home is
they're psychos.
they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're the fucking weird ones.
I mean, if you have one beer, like like me, if I ever have one beer, it's like a big ass mug of beer, and that's like 3 beers. So
Yeah, I think if somebody told me that they were like, yeah, I'm just gonna go home and just like have one beer,
One beer.
and then I'm like, oh, like a few beers, right? It's like, no, like I usually just have one beer, and I'm just like,
Bitch, what the fuck?
like I was like, I don't understand that. Like, it makes it like for whatever reason, like it's one beer is weird,
Yeah.
but for like a one glass of wine, that's okay for what in my mind.
really,
Yeah, like one glass of wine, I can see that happening. One beer, and I'm like, why do you? What?
Yes, I don't know.
I mean, you like 140? You're gonna have a whole 40,
Yeah.
like 140,
Yeah, or like or one of those big fucking tall bottles,
or like a Belgian, like a
Yeah.
one Belgian beer
Right,
will do
right.
you. But like, let's say you have one High Life, but not this size, like a 12. What 12 ounces? 16?
Yeah.
16 ounces of High Life.
That's weird.
You're weird. You're a fucking weirdo.
That's fucking weird.
Yes. But let's move on to the stories real quick. If you have a little bit of time, I'm going to start off real quick with the box office. So last week, we had A Quiet Place, then Rampage, then the new Amy Schumer movie, which I forgot was coming out. I Feel Pretty. Did you see the trailer for that shit?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. What do you think about it?
You always give me shit because I liked Amy Schumer at some point.
And now, do you like Amy Schumer?
I hate what she's coming out with lately. I think she should just not be in show business anymore. I don't know. No, I don't know, dude. It's so fucking. Here's my whole theory on it, and I've told you guys this before, is that I really liked her as a comic before, all this fame and popularity,
Yeah.
and then her first special was like, I didn't really like it too much. And then, but everyone fucking loved it. Mostly, feminists and shit. And then Trainwreck was great. I
Yeah, I
really
like
liked
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. And then that one with Goldie Hawn was dog shit or whatever. Or at least I heard. I had no interest in seeing that at all.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
And then
When it's a comedy and I don't laugh once
And then
in the
this-
trailer, I'm like,
This movie, I mean, like the whole idea of like a not so attractive girl
Thinking that
thinking
she's
she's
attractive.
extreme, like it's
Like,
just
that's-
kind of, I don't know. It's so on the nose and weird. Like it's just like we get it. I don't know. It's because especially
You're unattractive.
especially because like even her regular persona is kind of like that already. You know. So
Yeah, exactly. Like I get it. You have confidence, which is great. Like I'm not knocking confidence, but the movie itself, I was like,
it's a great message for sure. But I don't know. It's just I think it's just too on the nose, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of distasteful in my opinion.
and I'm actually agreeing with you on that point. Like I understand that, and I'm totally about. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like. I guess like you have body confidence, you have all that stuff. Good for you.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but why make that a jokey joke movie?
Yeah.
you know, it's like
Also,
shallow. It's like reverse Shallow Hal.
Yeah, and I don't even think Shallow Hell was that funny either. Like I'm just like I don't find it comedic. I don't find it offensive, but I'm just saying I don't find it comedic. Like I'm not laughing. Like, whatever.
It's offensive to comedy fans.
Hey.
But yeah, and then her last special was filled with fucking cliche jokes.
Was it the leather special or whatever?
Yeah, it's filled with cliches, filled with stuff that other people have touched, and whether or not she stole jokes, I don't fucking really know. Who knows? The fuck knows what's going on. But definitely, she had writers, and she didn't do her research. So,
Fair enough.
and when you get, that's what I was gonna say is when you get to that
level.
you're so fucking
yeah.
you're so disconnected to what is real and what isn't, you know, and so it just becomes, you know, you're a famous person now, and your life is completely different, so you can't talk about normal people things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just seems like just seems like her trying to hold on to her like normalcy.
Yeah.
But she's a superstar.
And you know what's very interesting? Actually listening to certain comics, like I know Steve Martin especially, I remember him very, very much so. He's like, I was fine. Like I made it big, and then I had nothing to complain about, and I didn't want my comedy to get old, so I stopped doing it.
It's exactly what Eddie Murphy said.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, like that's what I'm saying. Like comedy truly does kind of start from pain and struggle and hardship, and then when you come up and then you have nothing. People hate it when people start like complaining about being like my millions of fans are bugging me or something like that. Like even not even comedy. To be honest, let me real quick.
Yeah.
I watched YouTubers, vloggers, you know, whatever that have come from nothing, and now they're making literally millions of dollars.
Right.
And then anytime they start complaining about it's so hard. I'm tired and like all this stuff. I'm like, oh, boo-hoo. Do you want to cry in your Lambo? like, and I
Yeah,
understand
you
that's not fair. That's not necessarily fair, but that's the first thing that comes to mind is just like, dude, like these are the people that literally pay you,
Right.
And you're complaining about I have to meet the fans, I have to go do this and blah blah blah.
Like the Justin Biebers of the world. And
Yeah, dude. Like, I wouldn't be nothing but gracious. I would be like, I'm tired. I'll take a nap right here, but I'll come right back to sign your fucking thing if I have people waiting for me.
Yeah,
Or, you know,
totally.
like I get that point, but I'm never gonna complain. Like right now, I'm probably at a point in my life where it's like I'm doing better, and so when things happen, I'm like I can't complain. Someone's like, oh my god, this happened to you or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but I've had a lot worse, to be honest. And so like. Just at that scale, I can't understand when people are doing this.
Well, and I think a lot of it has to do with being that big and not surrounding yourself with people who aren't. So let me clarify. Like, I mean, there's people who do it right. Dude, I liked Chris Rock's special a lot. I liked his latest special. It wasn't like any of the other ones he's done. His popular ones, you know, Bigger and Blacker and fucking...
But it makes sense because he's not in that place anymore.
He's not. And I mean, when you're honest with that, and when you admit that, you know, you're a fucking millionaire, you talk about that on stage, and you work that out in the clubs, like you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good comedian, like because you're not trying to fool anybody. Like people know you're fucking famous, dude. You know, you're not trying to. You know what I mean? Like if you're, you know, Chappelle, he went up on stage on one of his specials and talked about, I'm just too fucking good, and like, and it
like,
was
I
like,
will tell you the punchline,
yes.
and I'll still fucking kill you.
And he did, and he's right,
Which is true.
And you know, and it's like those dudes do, but also
They
like
work on the craft.
But that's what I'm saying. Like No one saw Amy Schumer in any of the like New York clubs or anything like that. She got so fucking popular with those movies. She's working on doing guest appearances and all that shit.
Yeah.
She's not doing stand up in the
Which
comedy
is fine.
clubs.
Be an actress. That's whatever. But like if you're trying to be a stand up, it's a different.
You got to work it out in the comedy clubs because
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna be a comedian, that's where you need to do. I mean, people saw Chris Rock. I mean, weekly at the Comedy Store working on his new special. Chappelle dropped in. Chappelle would drop in, bro. He dropped in at a bar. I was gonna go this night, right? I was gonna go and hang out because I was booked the next day or the next week, the following week, and it's just some fucking dive bar in Hollywood. It's called the Dime, and I was gonna go this one night because my friends were on the show, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just go hang out and hopefully get a spot. And I was fuck, I got lazy, decided not to go. Chappelle showed up that night.
Nice.
To a dive bar, you know, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like he connects with people. He's not hanging out with famous people all day long.
Yeah.
He's not at that. He's at that level, but he doesn't really.
Yeah, he's like
He's not
I can
disconnecting
go
himself
hang
from
out
the
with
world.
Kanye or Kendrick or whatever, and like those people, but who's go do his shit.
But he loves doing stand up, and he wants to be a comic, and that's why he's able to do that.
Sure.
I think Amy Schumer's lost touch.
That makes sense, and it's not just comedy, stand-up comedy. There's just certain things like you can't lose touch if you're trying to be a public figure. I feel like you can't.
Yeah, totally.
Like you can be a movie star. Like I'm sure Leonardo DiCaprio would be very different than anyone else. But he's just an actor. I'm not trying to see his life.
Well, let's say like
You know
a
what I mean?
Dave.
He's also
like
not trying to be out there.
Let's say like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Like Bill Murray shows up to places, loves to play tricks on people, and do.
He likes being a person.
But I think that's because he wants to keep his sanity. He doesn't want to be hanging out with fake Hollywood people all day.
Yeah.
And so he likes to do this and hang out and be in touch with regular people.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to connect to certain people, you have to still be in that world. You can't just be all, I guess, for lack of a better term, like high and mighty, looking down, and then just.
Well, it's
sort
not
of
even that.
Calm down.
It's
Like,
not even that.
But
It's
that's what I feel like when I envision sort of a realistic or like a version of it, where it's just like you're at a different sort of level than I am, or at least in a different area
just
than
a
I
whole
am,
different
and you're just
lifestyle.
coming in just to say something and then go back.
Yeah.
You're not spending time here.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Tom Hardy.
Yeah, speaking of Tom Hardy, let's talk about the Venom trailer before Ryan has to get out of here. So today, or at least I think today, if you're watching live, the brand new trailer for the Venom movie, and this is the Sony Venom movie. Keep in mind, so this is still, I think, connected to the MCU.
Well, Tom Holland has been confirmed that he's in this movie.
So,
But they haven't said Peter Parker.
they haven't said Peter Parker. They haven't mentioned him in the trailers, and they haven't said anything that has anything to do with anything you know about the MCU. However, it is owned by Sony, which their Spider-Man at least is also able somehow to go back and forth. The logistics are very complicated and obviously not 100% public, so I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. However, you have a brand new trailer that's very centric on Tom Hardy, who is playing Eddie Brock, and you finally get to see how they say it, which I kind of have an issue with, symbiote.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I heard Jenny Slate say that. I'm like, why are you saying it like
And
that?
then Jenny Slate, I was like,
I like Jenny Slate.
I don't like her.
I do. I have no problem with Jenny Slate whatsoever. What don't you like about her?
I don't know. I don't
Is
know.
there something about her face?
It's just something. I just don't like her. I don't know.
Fair enough. I
I
mean,
can't like. She just takes me out of shit. You know.
I'm okay with her. Like she's.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm sure she's a nice person. I'm sure.
Yeah, we're not commenting on like none of us have met her or know her.
I just don't like. I don't like her in my movies. That's all.
I've had no problem with anything I've seen her in, but yeah. I mean, so Jenny Slate.
She was in that movie. I watched this movie. You know what it is? I think they give her roles that I don't agree with, and I think that's what the problem is.
Okay.
I think she's more of like a character actress.
Yeah.
And I watched this movie where she was one of the like lead fucking female what's the word I'm looking for? Love interest.
Okay, I'll get a.
And I was like, nah. Like I just wasn't
was it the one
buying
with
it.
Nick Kroll?
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That it's a really like dramedy kind of
Yeah.
sappy movie.
Why did you buy it? Like
I don't know. I don't like it.
Fair enough.
I felt like anybody else would have been better in that role.
Okay. I hear you, but I mean, like, yeah, that's all subjective. But like
Totally. I mean,
for me
that's
personally,
just
like,
me.
I have
I
no
don't know.
problem with her
I
whatsoever.
liked everybody else in that movie. Everybody else was fine. I don't really like Nick Kroll personally at all.
I don't either, actually.
And he was fine in that movie.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called. I forgot what that movie's called.
I don't remember either, but I know.
But the Verizon guy, he's like the main character.
Yeah.
The fucking ShamWow guy. Did you
Yeah.
know that? That was
Oh, is it?
that was the same dude from the fucking the college humor sketch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No.
that's him.
Cool. But yeah, no, I'm with you on Nick Kroll, but Jenny Slate, I like Jenny Slate, to be honest. And then so we have Michelle Williams, Jenny Slate, Tom Hardy, Riz Ahmed in the new Venom movie. And this one is, I think, in my personal opinion, a lot better than the first trailer we got. Do you remember the first one? The first trailer we got for Venom?
Oh yeah.
Or-
I thought you were
or-
gonna say better than Spider-Man 3, but I was like,
Oh.
obviously.
Yeah, well, that's very different. I mean, anything you sort of translate,
fuck, dude.
even with time, is gonna look better. But this, just the tone, the action. This is, you know what's so funny? Do you remember the trailer that I brought in? I think it was called Upgrade a few weeks ago.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same.
It's kind of the same, in all honesty. And the weirdest part is that guy is the guy that reminds me of Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is kind of what happens. So in Upgrade, this guy gets an upgrade, which is basically a chip in his spine that has a personality. It has, it's like an AI or whatever, but it can take control of his body and make him do things, and he kind of turns him into a vengeful badass. This is essentially the same trailer with, instead of computer chip, a symbiote.
Yeah.
Which I hate. They pronounce it symbiote, which I don't like. And it's like, for me at least, us, I think you're in the same train. It's a symbiote. Yeah, it's a symbiote my entire life.
Isn't that how they said it in the Spider-Man comics?
And the cartoon.
Cartoon.
Yeah, it's a symbiote. And like everything else, every other, I have this big thing where if there's precedent for it, like there's comics, there's precedent.
Precedent.
Yeah, there's precedent for it. There's like, audio recordings of someone saying a word, especially this person who originated stuff. Like this is the weirdest thing, when people still have like controversy over how to say someone's name. I'm like, have you heard them say their name? If you have, that's the way to say their name.
Right.
I don't care if it's spelled the same way as another person. If they say their name a certain way, that's how you say their name.
Yeah.
So if I said my name is Garat or whatever, you just have to go with it, even though everyone else spelled the same way as Garrett.
I still can't get anybody. I don't know. When people ask me how to say my last name, I'm like, how do you feel like you should say it?
Yeah. Okay, well, that's one way, I guess.
It's no, because there's no wrong. I mean, I've never been told the right or wrong way. I mean, where the accent is. Demarest.
Well, that's the
Demarest.
thing. Like I said, in my opinion at least, and I think that, I mean, I don't know why this would be wrong. If it's your name and you say it one way, that's the way to say it.
Yeah.
Because throughout time, the same words have been changed through different people. And this is a weird, like, sort of correlation. Like Beerfest, their name, at least their older name, was von Wolfhausen.
Von Wolfhausen, yeah.
And then it changed when they came to America to Wolfhouse.
Wolfhouse, yeah.
To Wolfhouse.
Well, that's what they said would happen to my name. It was supposed to be like Von something.
Von Dimraste.
Yeah.
Or something like that,
Yeah.
yeah. But, it's Ryan D. There's not even, it's Ryan D.
Yeah.
That's it now.
Yeah.
But so now, yeah, you have this new trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and I truly enjoyed it, even though there were some things that were like kind of weird. And the CGI, I think this is the same thing that I say with a lot of films. I remember thinking about it when
Looks
the first.
better. It looks better.
It looks better. The first time that the Jurassic World trailer, the first one came out, the first time the Black Panther trailer came out, the CGI needs work. However, that can be fixed and will most likely at least be worked on
Yeah.
or by the time the movie comes around. Now, things like I've heard Justice League, they didn't really fix the issue with Cyborg, which also I had the idea that I was like, that CGI is kind of
Cyborg looks like the first Power Rangers movie.
But this one, I see where they're going and I like it.
Yeah. It's all right.
Looks good.
No, are you done?
Go. Am I finished?
Sorry,
I want to know, Ryan D.
So
after
bash the
seeing
fuck out of it? No, I'm
after
just
seeing
kidding.
the Venom trailer, what are your thoughts on it?
Look, I'm just extremely skeptical still. Because it's a Sony property and it's not really. It's been so fucking in the gray about whether or not it's going to tie into the MCU. That's the only thing that makes me weary. It looks like a good movie. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy it. This is one of my, again, I'll say it again. This is like one of my favorite all time fucking comic book characters. So, the idea of having this is kind of an original take of having him being kind of fighting with the symbiote and becoming a sort of a superhero and trying to convince it that he's, I mean, there is a character arc in the comics, but it's because he realizes that his arch nemesis needs his help to take down a bigger problem.
And this is something that many comic book movies I think have done right, where they don't follow the comic book origin.
Sure. I mean,
they have ties, but okay, so
I'm sure there is versions
in
out
comics, the main Marvel comics, Spider-Man gets the Venom symbiote in Secret Wars, and then that's the reason it looks like that, which is why I think some people were criticizing the trailer, like, why does it look like the Spider-Man unless it touched Spider-Man, whatever. They may explain that in the movie.
Yeah,
we'll see, but there's also different explanations they can get. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be the exact same explanation you got from the comic books.
Yeah, and I like Tom Hardy. I think
I've never seen him in a role I don't like. I've seen him in movies I don't like, but I've never seen him in a role that I don't like.
Right. And
like,
I mean,
he's a great actor.
I'm gonna go see this movie no matter what.
Hell
obviously.
yes.
This definitely made me feel better about how good this movie's gonna be after that other fucking teaser we got.
Yeah, like I don't know if there's two ways I'm going. One, they had no idea what they were doing. Two, they wanted us to be like, oh, this is way better, so let's give them a shitty one first.
Yeah,
shitty one first, gooder one better, gooder one after. You know what I mean?
I do like the. I mean, everything looks cool. The way I like the. Just the idea that it's not only coming out because of the the comics and everything, that that the symbiote's its own type of thing, and it's coming out of his chest and it comes out of his back.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think
not
that's so
like,
cool. Like,
it's not like he
just
has control of it. You know?
And I also like that it doesn't have to only be a suit. Like, it can just be in him,
exactly,
and then just explode out.
I
I think they actually took some inspiration from stuff like video games, actually,
like Marvel versus Capcom.
I was also thinking Prototype. Have you ever played the Prototype?
Oh yeah.
Prototype is kind of like that, where he kind of has his arm, which is very much symbiotic, whatever.
Yeah.
But then shit just explodes out of him. And blah, blah, blah.
I was thinking of Marvel vs. Capcom. That was like the first time we ever saw really like the animation of Venom's powers.
Okay.
Where there's like he'll do a move where he just kind of stands there and all these different fucking wiggly tentacles kind of like come out of him and hit you,
Okay.
So there's that, and then he turns into one giant head
Oh, cool.
and snaps on you, and
Yeah.
and it's I mean, that's what I got from that. And and something comes out of his chest too. That's like something that happens in the game.
Yeah.
But
no, watching this trailer, I really enjoyed it. And then there's actually some humor in there. There's levity, but there's also some serious note. And so it's like, I like it. I like everything that I saw. And then you kind of see him even struggling. Like, the first time he says, like, why would we do that?
yeah.
But and so he's like kind of struggling with like the we who like are we?
I do like that. I do like that they put we are Venom.
Are Venom.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's fucking
And I'm
dope.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm super in. All right. Besides that, I want to bring one last. I'm gonna just go. We didn't bring this up because we wanted to jump straight into Venom, but I wanted to definitely say rest in peace. So we actually lost Vern Troyer, who you may know from a lot of different roles, probably most notably Mini-Me from Austin Powers. At the age 49, he has passed away.
Bummer.
Yeah. Me. So we'll say our salute to Vern Troyer. Take a sippy sip. And once you're out of beer, are you out of beer?
No.
Oh, okay. Take a sippy sip.
Here we go. Moment of silence for the little guy.
The Mini-Man.
Did you ever watch the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus?
I did not.
He's in that movie too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What does he play?
He's a freak.
Oh, okay.
In the traveling circus that they're a part of. That was Heath Ledger's last movie that they ended up turning into.
Oh, you know what? I did see that, but I think when it came out, and then I don't remember it. To be honest.
And so when
But
he
there was like
there's
Jude
like
Law
so when he goes into the mirror with the way they corrected it because he didn't finish the movie was every time Heath Ledger's character went into the mirror he looked different.
He looked different.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he was Jude Law, Johnny Depp, and Colin Farrell. So
Got it.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw it. It was a long time ago. It was just really weird, and I don't remember it exactly. But he was in there?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I mean, like, so he was a good actor. He was in, but yeah, everyone knows him as Mini-Me for sure.
Totally.
I remember do you ever watch The Surreal Life?
Yes. Yeah.
Remember him getting drunk and just like getting crazy?
He just, yeah. I mean, I think that's what ended up kind of being his downfall. That's why he got really sick because he was drinking so much and he's so small.
Makes sense.
Because I remember I remember hearing about them calling the hospital on him because they were drinking and he got drunk and then he wasn't moving, so they had to call the hospital. They call an ambulance.
Oh, yeah. So, well, our hearts go out. There you go. Rest in peace, Mini-Me. Last thing I wanted to say. So, you like Terminator? Ryan? Talking
Sure, if you
here.
like fucking classic robot movies.
Okay. You like Avatar?
Sure, if you like fucking blue people.
All right. Well, the guy that created those
I actually
things-
don't really like Avatar.
Oh, really?
Unpopular opinion, yeah.
No, I mean, I've definitely heard a lot of people say that they don't like it. The guy who directed those, James Cameron, he had some shit to say about Marvel movies.
Well, does he now?
Yeah, he had some stuff to say.
Speaking of woe is me, fucking famous ass people.
Kind of, yeah. Over the weekend, James Cameron offered the following quotes about his concerns of superhero movies and their oversaturation. He says, quote, "I'm hoping we're going to start getting Avengers fatigue. Not that I don't love the movies. It's just, come on, guys. There are other stories to tell besides, hyper-gonadal males without families doing death-defying things for 2 hours and wrecking cities in the process."
Oh, suck my dick. You fucking... Dude, your biggest fucking movies are like about lesbos with big-ass guns and fucking... you know what I mean? Like Alien 2, fucking Terminator.
Might as well have been a fucking comic book movie, The Terminator.
The Terminator.
Yeah.
And Aliens.
True Lies. Like, what the fuck,
shut
dude?
the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, James Cameron. Come on. What are you doing,
And
dude?
you made a fucking movie about blue people in Pocahontas form. It's the same fucking story.
Yeah.
Only they're blue and in space. Like, suck a dick. Shut up. Go back to your fucking cave, wherever you're at.
Right now, he's apparently... Ow. Why? Right now...
Lemmy's up.
Yeah, Lemmy's awake. Fucking... You need to trim his claws. You fucking just scraped over my foot.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
He's what's it called? So James Cameron has been making, at least allegedly, making the next Avatar movies 2, 3, 4. They're all being shot back to back.
Doesn't he have like a contract or something?
Yeah, exactly. And then he's doing other shit too, like a
Terminator. There's supposed to be another Terminator.
We haven't seen the fruits of any of those things. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, because he's doing fucking interviews talking shit. Wasting time. Wasting everyone's time.
I think what's going on too is that I don't know. Like I just like there's one thing, and it's very much a what have you done lately type of thing. If the next movie he puts out is amazing, no one's really gonna care too much.
If it sucks,
If it sucks, you have
Yeah.
all hell is gonna rain down on him.
He's going to movie jail
He's
for a
going
little
to
while.
movie jail, and everyone be like, "Oh, and this is the guy that was just talking shit about Marvel and Avengers and all that stuff."
You know what? He's a guy. Well, by saying that, I don't think he's seen all the movies. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't think. I mean, just the fact that the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, like, it's easy to talk shit on them when you haven't been following them like the way we have. You know
And
what
I get
mean?
if you want to be super critical, sure. Like there are
and some
plenty
of
of people that are saying, and one of the biggest things is like they follow the same story arcs. They start like do the same things. I'm like,
Sure. So does Star Wars.
So does all
you
this
guys
stuff.
are fucking buying Star Wars tickets every goddamn week.
And like I get
Every
it. Like,
year?
like you want new stories, but they're giving you different stories. They're different stories. Yeah, they have similar beats, but I'm not getting tired of them, to be honest. I'm entertained.
No, and
I'm not I'm not studying them for like acting or anything. I'm like, I get it, but like you don't talk shit about someone like whoever's the biggest thing right now. Just
It's
be better.
James Cameron hipster.
Yeah. If you want to fucking be better, be better. Don't talk shit about who's on top right now.
I was listening to a podcast and they were all talking mad shit about like, all these. Oh, fucking, why we always have to watch superhero movies? You know what, dude? We went so long.
You don't have to. You can watch whatever the fuck you want.
And we went so long without any of this shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, guess what? This is our time now. So just shut up and deal with it. And then, yeah, maybe we won't be getting 3 Marvel movies a year. Maybe we'll only be getting one Avengers movie a year at some point. But still, they're gonna be smash hits, and you should just shut the fuck up.
And that's the thing, is that we express more loudly than anything our opinions by our dollar. These movies are making so much fucking money, whereas stuff that's original comes out and no one goes to see it. That's because you guys
That's true. And
didn't fucking
That's the problem.
try
too.
hard
I
enough.
mean, yeah, there is a lot of original
and
stuff.
and it's not everything. Like let's take A Quiet Place, for instance.
so good.
That made so much money for how much it cost because of word of mouth, and people were just like, I want to see this.
What did it cost? Like $30 million or something?
I don't even let me go check real quick, but I'm just like, literally that's what it is. Okay, so A Quiet Place, its budget was 17.
17 million.
It's at 131 right now. 131 million on a $17
Yeah.
budget, or
And-
$17 million budget. Not $17.
So there's going to be a sequel.
yeah, most likely. I mean, I'm sure they're talking about it. The
Or,
thing is,
I mean, our best case scenario for what's his name, John Krasinski, the next fucking script he writes, he's definitely gonna fucking get it because look at what he just did.
I don't know if he wrote A Quiet Place.
He did.
He did?
Yep.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all these other things, like these indies or these things that have new stories, no one's going to go see them. Like no one's seen them unless they're really good.
Well, that's
and
also
they
because
get word of mouth.
They blow their budget on an all-star cast so that they could be in these movies, and then they have nothing left for marketing.
True. You really have to just play the game right, I guess. But I'm just saying, like, if you want something different, go support something different. That's fine. There's no problem with that. But talking shit about the things that are
Yeah, shut the fuck up, James Cameron.
that are in the spotlight right now,
have a target suck my dick.
yeah, then
Fuck Blue
that
Pocahontas.
does nothing.
Fuck Blue Pocahontas.
It really is a positive sort of a positive reinforcement type of world. It doesn't matter how much shit you talk because everyone's gonna talk shit. But if you are willing to back something by watching and telling people this is awesome, go do this, that's what matters.
That is
Not
like
talking shit. Talking shit doesn't do anything.
It's an old school Hollywood way of doing things too, or like it's just like I get it. He just did an interview and he spoke his opinion. That's fine, right? But like.
But it's different. It's different. He said, I don't really like the Avengers things, or I don't like the comic book movies, or whatever. Like but he's saying, he's literally saying, I hope that they start losing money.
They start failing.
They start failing.
So that the rest of it, it's like,
that is completely different.
But that's where it leaves a bad taste in my mouth because then I'm like, like you haven't had fucking hits over the last fucking 20 years, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Like what if back then, like, I hope fucking people get fatigued of watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, or I hope people get fatigued of alien movies, or I don't want to go to outer space anymore. I don't want any outer space movie to succeed.
No more sci-fi. But I just hope people get tired of sci-fi.
Yeah, it's very different from being like, I don't really care for them, to be saying, I hope that they start failing.
Yeah. Why? I don't understand.
I don't know.
And
that was my main thing. I know you have a little bit, but I know you have some time. Let's go into Ryan D's stories real quick. And hold on, I'm petting Lemmy. God, there's so much hair on me now. Okay, here we go.
Shedding really bad.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Behold the secrets of nature's deepest mystery.
She's literally like launching eggs out of her pussy. The poo-poo, eat the poo-poo guy. So they just like tie up these dudes and fart in their face. Now, maybe cut off his dick. This is gonna blow your fucking mind. Are you ready?
All right, I'm gonna burn through these because I got to fucking piss. And
Burn.
I gotta go.
Burn, bro.
Okay, so Meek Mill, rapper Meek Mill. He's a rapper, famous rapper.
Who?
Meek Mill. I don't know if you. I'm unfamiliar with his music. I'm sure if I heard something, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that song. But
I've heard his name. I don't know that I've heard.
I mean,
any
a lot
music.
of rappers name drop him and shit. But anyway, he's been released from prison after spending nearly 5 months incarcerated after controversial
Oh
sentence.
no, it must have been so hard for him for 5 months.
It probably wasn't at all. After controversial sentence for violating probation, the Philadelphia rapper was out and en route to a basketball game on Tuesday evening. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court ordered an immediate release for Mill earlier in the day, directing the judge to release him on unsecured bail. So Philadelphia, he showed up to the Sixers game because the 76ers are in the playoffs right now. So the day he was released, he went to the Sixers game and was got a standing ovation for ringing the bell, which is, I guess, is a thing. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, apparently Mill received a 2 to 4 year prison sentence in November for violating probation on a 2008 gun and drug case. He was arrested in 2017 after being involved in a fight and arrested again later for popping wheelies on a dirt bike.
Every time you say Papa Wheelie, I just
Think of my dad.
I think of your dad. God, he's so cool. Okay.
Judge Janice Brinkley cited a failed drug test, and the
Is
rappers...
that illegal? Hold the fuck up. Let's go back real quick. Popping a wheelie on a dirt bike is illegal?
It doesn't give me the specifics, but I'm sure he was doing it in an asshole way in a residential, in the street somewhere. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Who the fuck knows? It could be. No helmet. Who the fuck knows? The motherfucker was on probation and he was being an asshole.
Fair enough.
That's the.
Fair enough. Okay.
Earlier this month, the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office recommended a new trial for Mill, but after the judge denied Mill bail, his plea was moved to the state Supreme Court. The case, which remains under appeal, has sparked outrage from the criminal justice reform activists. Mill received widespread support from notable artists and athletes, including Colin Kaepernick, rappers Jay-Z, T.I., Rick Ross, New England's Patriot owner Robert Kraft, comedian Kevin Hart, and the 76ers Rubin. Well, whatever.
76ers Rubin?
It just says Rubin.
It's like Cher.
Kevin Hart and the 76ers Rubin.
Rubin.
I guess he's a guy that plays on the 70s. Oh, wait, no, yeah, it just says Rubin.
Rubin. All right.
Weird. Anyway, he's out.
It's like a
and
Dell.
apparently this is like a big thing because anybody who is who loves justice.
Everyone loves okay, you like justice?
You guys like justice? No, I think the 2008 thing was like something that happened early on in his career.
Okay.
So
It's 2008.
2017.
That's literally 10 years. That's a decade ago.
But you can't be somebody that just doesn't take care of your shit. He was still on probation from something from 2008. You know what I mean?
Oh, he just didn't take care of it. All right, fair enough. I understand that and I agree with you. Second of all, it sounds like you.
No.
You're like, I didn't know they would catch me.
No, fuck no, dude. I would go. I am a total court goer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I didn't show up to court one time for one thing, and I got a warrant, and then I was like, oh,
Oh,
fuck.
that's bad. You're just about okay. I feel you.
Yeah.
There's a limit. He doesn't have that limit. Got you. All right. Well, yeah, dude, that sucks. Literally the only thing I know about Meek Mill is that there's some sort of connection to Nicki Minaj and Drake. I have no idea besides.
Yeah,
anything
I'm
else.
really
because I don't pay attention. to
I'm
that
really
sort of stuff.
disconnected to this whole world too, man. I don't fucking know, but it was trending on Twitter, and it was like all over my Facebook today.
All right,
And
he's
then-
out.
And
He's out now.
the 76ers. I mean, I follow sports, a little bit, so I know that they're doing really well. So it's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
It's kind of he's a Philly boy, so like Philadelphians, I don't know, they love convicts.
Philadelphians. Yeah. Cool.
They love convicts, so
Yeah. Sounds good.
Anyway,
Next story.
all right. They have released the first images of Damian Lewis playing Rob Ford.
Tom Ford.
Rob Ford.
Rob Ford. Who is that?
That is, if you guys don't remember, he was the Toronto mayor, the crack smoking, pussy eating, fat dude, Rob Ford, the guy who looked like Chris Farley playing in a sketch, bro. If Chris Farley were alive for this biopic, it would be the greatest thing of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So, anyway, Damian Lewis is just in full makeup and looks exactly, I mean, at least a good movie version of what Rob Ford would look like.
Jesus.
And Rob Ford's on the right. You understand that, right?
It took me a second to like, wait, which one is the which one's the fake
one's the
one?
real one? Yeah, I know. So they released photos of him on set recently. So there's a Rob Ford biopic that's coming out. And he died. Rob Ford passed away in 2016.
Okay.
And we got him in the news about 2014. So we had a whole year of just fucking magic from this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave the worst press conferences, and there was, I mean, not by the worst, I mean the best, because he would say the fucking most outlandish shit. And then there was videos of him being drunk at like Burger King, like trying to speak. He was like trying to rap, and there was like, dude, it was the best, dude.
He's a governor or mayor?
He was the mayor, and he would always get in trouble.
Mayor.
He would always get in trouble, and then like a week later, a new video would surface of him loaded somewhere else, doing something else.
Wow.
Smoking weed with some people.
Smoke
fucking
weed every day.
Here's the thing: he never really did anything. I mean, he did drugs and
He partied.
He partied hard.
Yeah.
And he got.
But he's also in public office, which kind of doesn't go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Publicly.
And no one really hated him in Toronto, you know, like except for other politicians. They were always trying to bring him down.
They're like, why are you having fun? You're not allowed to have fun.
Right, and he was genuinely a nice dude, and I think, I don't even know if he was good at his job, but I don't fucking know. But he was
Toronto's still around. He didn't let it burn down, did he?
But he got all the way up there, and there's like videos of him being high on crack, fucking doing. So when you see this video, we're gonna play a clip right now.
Okay,
But
the second one you sent me?
yeah, but when you see the video of him talking about like killing somebody, first of all, I want you to think of Chris Farley.
Okay.
And secondly, I want you to understand that he had just smoked crack.
Fair enough. All right, I'm going to play this. I'm also going to link it in the comment section of the live video that we're doing right now that you can check out later, all right? So I'm going to play it real quick, and you'll be able to hear it.
Wow. Full house. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to address a number of issues that have circulated in the media over the last few days. There has been a serious accusation from the Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine.
What?
I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine.
Are you sure?
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
Exactly.
Drunken stupors.
I'll rip his fucking throat out. I'll poop his eyes out. I will fuck when he's dead. I'll make sure that
That's Chris
motherfucker's
Farley.
dead. I need
Dude, right
fucking 10
now.
minutes to make sure he's dead.
That's
It'll
Chris
be over
Farley.
5 minutes, brother. So I've done it 10 minutes. After you win, brother, it'll be a bad. I'm a sick motherfucker, dude. But no one's gonna fuck around me. My
He is
brothers
going
are.
crazy.
Don't tell me we're liars. These.
Mr. Mayor, do you still have zero tolerance for drugs, guns, and gangs?
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor, have you purchased illegal drugs in the last 2 years?
What?
Yes, I have.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, it has been reported that you attended a residence in the city of Toronto, and at that residence, it has been deemed or suggested it is a crack house, a house of where drugs and other activities take place. Did you at any point in time report that particular address to municipal licensing and standard, or
No, sir. That is not a crack house.
What should? Sorry.
That is not a crack house.
He never
And
even
what
said
is
the
it?
address.
Have you visited the house?
Is
Have
it
you walked in the house?
No, actually, I have no interest being in that house. I'm not a crack user.
It's very preventable. If you're not doing needles and you're not gay, you won't get AIDS probably.
Probably.
Those Oriental people work like dogs. They work their hearts out. They are workers non-stop.
Okay, I'm going to stop it real quick.
My heart bleeds for them when I hear someone gets killed. But it's their own fault at the end of the day. Oh, and the last thing was,
Okay, so real quick.
Hold on, there's this last one. Just play
last
this
one?
last one real quick.
Okay.
Olivia Gondak did this. says that I wanted to eat her pussy in Atlantic Conduct. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Oh my god, I got more than enough meat at home.
That's the best, dude.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to hang out with this dude.
Right. He was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was very fun. On Jimmy Kimmel.
He looks fun. Like I feel like if he wasn't a politician, he'd be a cool dude.
Cool old white man. But
Yeah.
it's Chris Farley, dude. What can you imagine Chris Farley playing him?
Could
As
totally imagine
like
that. I think
like
it'd be
a,
amazing.
like a fucking in a biopic. Like it
Jesus.
could be a comedy.
That looks awesome. Hey, fuck off.
Hey,
Come here. Let me.
all right, we're gonna wrap it up. You all right? Yeah. Sorry, I'll take him home right now.
It's okay. Love you, Lemmy.
but-
all right, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was it. That was our story. That was our show. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, of course. My name, of course, is Garrett Lee. We have Ryan D.
Yep.
And if you want to follow us, you can follow us at Humpcast on Instagram and Facebook is the things we post on the most. Me personally, I'm at Garrett_AM Lee at Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at Mitch_Strecker on Snapchat if you want to go ahead and follow Ryan D.
At Ryan P. Demarest. That's DEMAREST. Go to teamryanD.com. Friday night, I'll be in Boyle Heights. We'll be doing our very first comedy at the Boulevard Bar on Whittier Boulevard. Look that up, and we'll be doing some stand-up. It'll be a good time. Come out to that shit and check out Hit the Mics with Ryan D.
Cool. And if you want to follow Lemmy. you can go ahead and just you can just watch Ryan D. I'm sure he's going to post about Lemmy at some point. And I want to thank you again for watching and listening. And we will see you / hear you or vice versa. You can just kind of hear us next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.